Okay, in this lesson we'll be talking about the G-shaped chord in open position. Figure 1 is the familiar G chord that most of us have been playing for years. Now there's a couple of ways you can play this G chord. We'll leave the bottom strings alone, but up here on the high B or high E and B strings, we can either just play that 3rd fret on the high E string, or we can play the 3rd fret on the high E and the 3rd fret on the B string. Or we can just play it, like the diagram in figure 1 shows you. But if you actually added that 3rd fret of the B string, you wouldn't be wrong. It's just another note found in the chord, repeated. So again, it's not wrong. You can play it either way, and it sounds pretty similar. Again, all we're doing is adding that 3rd fret of the B string. In figure 2, we'll see the G chord tabbed out. It's tabbed out here, like I just explained, by adding that 3rd fret note on the B string. And then you'll see the pentatonic major scale shape associated with the open G chord. And you could play it something like this. Now, basically this scale shape has the same 3 notes from the G chord plus 2 more notes. And this scale shape is very helpful for creating fills and adding things when you're playing that G. And you won't go wrong with most of these notes because we have omitted the 4th and 7th scale step that we have found in our major scale for this pattern. So most of our dissonant notes are not in this scale shape. So this scale shape is best for adding fills or lead parts, or just making a chord more fancy. In figure 3, we'll see the scale shape overlaid with the G chord shape, and we'll see that the R on that black dot, which is on the 3rd fret of the low E string, that's our root note, obviously, which is of course a G note. And we can see with this diagram how the scale shape and the G shape coexist together. And if you wanted to play a fill from the scale, most likely you're not even going to have to move the positioning of your hand. All the notes are readily available to you. And there what I'm doing is playing with the open strings, and on that the D string and the A string, and we can hammer on with that our finger onto the 2nd fret to create a fill, or or a lead pattern. But these are all the notes found on that scale pattern. So you should really spend time with figure 2, playing the chord and then applying the scale pattern. Now in figure 4, we'll see the suggested fingerings for playing the scale pattern. You'll see that of course the first note on each string is an open note, and you'll see that all 6 strings are played in the scale pattern open. All 6 strings are played open. That's the first note on each string. And the 2nd note is the one we'll concern ourselves with the fingering. And it's fairly easy at this point. We're going to use our 3rd finger for notes on the 3rd fret. We're going to use our 2nd finger for notes on the 2nd fret. Couldn't be easier. It's a pretty fun scale pattern to learn. It's not hard to remember once you get it down, and it will be very beneficial to you when you're playing an open G chord, because there's so much you can do with it. You can, completely change the sound of a song with adding notes. So spend some time playing around with it, and in the next lesson we'll progress this idea a little further, and I hope to see you then.